Welcome to the channel where we explore the unbelievable world of rare and valuable coins that have turned small pocket change into legendary treasures. And today's episode is about one of the most jaw-dropping discoveries in modern numismatics, a 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar that defied all expectations when it was authenticated and sold for an eye-watering $135 million, a staggering price tag for a coin minted just a few decades ago. And what makes this particular coin so incredibly rare and desirable isn't just its age or historical relevance, but a mind-blowing series of minting errors and anomalies that collided in one extraordinary specimen, making it a once-in-a-lifetime piece that even seasoned collectors had never imagined existed. Because while the 1997 D half-dollar was produced in large quantities at the Denver Mint using standard copper-nickel-clad composition, this specific coin slipped through layers of quality control with a remarkable cascade of errors that include everything from a misaligned die strike and multiple die clashes to a double-struck off-center alignment, improper planchette alloy, and an extremely rare inverted mint mark anomaly never before documented in any Kennedy half-dollar series. And the story begins with the coin's planchette, which was later determined through metallurgical analysis to have an unusual high silver content, possibly the result of a leftover blank from a special mint strike batch or an accidental use of a foreign metal blank intended for an international order, and this incorrect metal composition alone makes it exceptionally rare since no official 1997 D silver-clad Kennedy half-dollars were produced for circulation. But the uniqueness doesn't end there, because the coin also features a dramatic double strike, with both strikes visibly offset, causing overlapping profiles of President John F. Kennedy's face and letters in Liberty and the date 1997, a telltale sign that the coin was struck more than once by misaligned dies, and the result is a visually stunning distortion that's impossible to ignore, with ghostly outlines and doubled features appearing across the obverse, and on the reverse. The eagle design has been shifted and partially flattened due to the angle and force of the second strike, causing stars and elements of the shield to blur and twist in ways that make this coin stand out at a glance. And as if that weren't enough, under strong magnification, the mint mark D was found to be not only doubled but actually rotated and partially inverted, a never-before-seen error that numismatic experts believe may have been caused during a hurried hubbing process in which the mint mark punch was accidentally misoriented. And this alone makes the coin historically significant since it rewrites known classifications for Kennedy half-dollar varieties. And when it was first discovered at the bottom of a bankroll that had sat in a safety deposit box for over 20 years, the coin was thought to be just another unusual half-dollar until the collector noticed the odd coloration and doubling, prompting them to send it to a top-tier third-party grading service for authentication. And the results were nothing short of explosive, with experts confirming the rare off-metal composition, the full double strike, the inverted mint mark, and multiple die cracks running from the rim through key lettering such as "We Trust" and "United States of America," all of which added layer upon layer of rarity to a coin already considered abnormal. And even more surprising was the presence of a clear struck-through error across Kennedy's cheek and jawline, likely caused by a piece of debris or thread being lodged between the die and planchette at the moment of impact, further distorting the already chaotic visual layout of the coin and cementing its place as a numismatic marvel. And the fact that all of these errors occurred on a single coin minted in 1997, a year with no known significant errors in the Kennedy series, adds to its mystery and allure, with many theorizing that this coin may have come from an unrecorded test batch or experimental run within the Denver Mint that was never meant to be released into circulation. And if that theory is true, then this coin may be the only surviving example of its kind, a one-of-one mistake that should never have existed. And it's that kind of mystery, rarity, and documented authenticity that fuels sky-high values in the world of coin collecting, where investors and collectors alike are willing to pay fortunes for coins that offer not just metal, but a compelling story and unique set of characteristics. And the icing on the cake is the pristine condition of the coin itself, graded MS-67 with full luster, razor-sharp details, and barely any visible contact marks, suggesting it may have been pulled directly from the production line or sat untouched since its creation, and its miraculous state of preservation only adds to its value, because a coin with this many errors is almost always found in circulated or damaged condition. Yet this one defied the odds and remained virtually perfect, and once the grading report was published, buzz in the numismatic community exploded, with collectors and researchers scrambling to cross-reference known errors, search through their own collections, and speculate on whether this coin was a freak accident or part of a very small, secretive test series. And when the coin finally went up for auction, it set off a fierce bidding war among elite private collectors, institutions, and even international bidders who recognized the unmatched value of this one-of-a-kind error piece, and the final hammer price of $135 million stunned even the auctioneers, setting a new benchmark not just for Kennedy half dollars but for modern US coinage as a whole. And since then, the coin has become a legend, featured in major numismatic publications, documentaries, and museum exhibitions, held securely in a climate-controlled vault when not on display, and its legacy has inspired collectors of all levels to re-examine their modern pocket change, to pay attention to even the most minute details in hopes of discovering the next great era coin, because if a 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar, minted in the tens of millions and often overlooked, can turn out to hold $135 million in hidden value, then truly anything is possible, and there's no better reminder that behind every ordinary coin could lie an extraordinary story waiting to be discovered. Next, 1994 P half dollar coin, where we dive into the incredible world of numismatics and uncover jaw-dropping stories behind ordinary-looking coins that have skyrocketed to unimaginable values. And today's story takes us to one of the most astonishing discoveries in US coin history, a single 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar coin that stunned the numismatic world with a verified value of $90 million due to a series of extraordinary mint errors, mechanical anomalies, and rare metal composition that transformed a common coin into a one-of-a-kind national treasure unlike any other. And what makes this particular coin so captivating is not just the breathtaking value it fetched at auction or the frenzy it created among collectors and investors, but the mysterious convergence of nearly impossible production flaws that all occurred on a single planchette, resulting in a spectacular specimen that experts agree defies the odds and may never be duplicated again. Beginning with the origin of the coin, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a year of relatively stable Kennedy half dollar production, meaning the expectation was for routine uncirculated releases for collectors and business strikes for circulation, all crafted from copper-nickel clad compositions with no silver planches officially used for general mintage in 1994. Yet this specific coin somehow defied that baseline by being struck on a highly unusual 90% silver blank, likely a leftover planchette from an earlier commemorative or proof series that accidentally made its way into a standard production run, and that alone already placed the coin in the top tier of rarity, since the Philadelphia Mint did not produce any silver Kennedy half dollars for circulation that year. But the story only begins with the composition, because once the coin was analyzed, it was revealed that it not only featured off-metal composition but also included a dramatic off-center strike where roughly 20% of the obverse is missing due to the misalignment of the dies when the planchette was hit by the press, with Kennedy's profile sharply distorted and the lettering from Liberty and I in God We Trust bleeding off the edge, while the reverse design was also skewed, showing the heraldic eagle partially off the flan and leaving an incomplete but breathtaking view of the intricate shield and wing details. And as if this weren't already enough to mark the coin as a legendary error, the coin displayed a clear multiple strike anomaly where the planchette had been struck more than once, resulting in ghost-like doubling on Kennedy's face and all major inscriptions, giving a 3D ripple effect that stunned graders and numismatists alike, especially since this doubling wasn't from die deterioration but rather from a legitimate misfeed that caused the planchette to be restruck at a slight angle, resulting in overlapping layers of metal and incuse impressions that could only occur in rare instances of press malfunction and further examination using scanning electron Microscopes revealed a never-before-seen feature on the coin, an inverted and doubled mint mark where the P was both rotated and placed too low, nearly encroaching on the date, making it the first known instance of a Philadelphia mint mark error of this variety on a Kennedy half-dollar AN. This discovery alone rewrote the known error catalog for the series and sent researchers scrambling to review old mint records to understand how such a dramatic misplacement and doubling could have occurred. And theories suggest that during a transitional period in the die manufacturing process, a misaligned hub was used to punch the mint mark, which was never corrected due to oversight in quality control. But perhaps most bizarrely, the coin also exhibited a highly irregular die clash pattern, meaning the obverse and reverse dies came into contact with each other without a planchette between them, causing part of the eagle's wings and shield to appear mirrored onto Kennedy's neck and jaw area, creating a ghostly pattern that collectors find immensely desirable due to its artistic and historical significance. And this type of error is exceedingly rare, particularly when combined with the other existing anomalies. And even under ultraviolet light, the coin presented additional features, including faint impressions of what appears to be a struck-through foreign object, possibly fabric or wire, that became embedded on the planchette's surface before or during striking and left behind a subtle textured imprint visible only under specific lighting conditions, suggesting that this coin underwent a chaotic journey through several failed strikes and possibly foreign contamination before escaping the mint entirely and making it into the hands of a private collector who discovered it only decades later while searching through an inherited collection of half-dollars in a dusty storage box, not knowing the magnitude of the find until the coin was submitted to one of the nation's most trusted grading services, which confirmed the coin's authenticity and attributed an unprecedented combination of errors, including off-metal composition, extreme off-center, double-strike die clash, inverted mint mark, struck-through object, and retained luster, showing that the coin had never been in circulation and was likely kept untouched since it left the mint, making it one of the finest preserved multi-era modern U.S. coins ever documented. And the certification alone sparked immediate interest from collectors across the globe, causing a cascade of offers and interest, culminating in one of the fiercest bidding wars in modern coin auction history, where high-profile investors, celebrities, and museum representatives battled over the unique piece, eventually driving the final price to an astounding $90 million, breaking records and prompting even the U.S. Mint to release a public statement acknowledging the historical importance of the error and confirming the possibility that the coin may have been part of an undocumented test batch or result of a rare equipment failure during a low-volume production window. And since then, the 1994 P. Kennedy half-dollar error has become a symbol of modern numismatic lore, inspiring collectors of all levels to pay closer attention to their change and to never underestimate the hidden value of overlooked coins, because even in an era of mass production and tight quality control, the minting process is still susceptible to unpredictability and the creation of truly extraordinary error coins that hold unimaginable value. And in the case of this legendary half-dollar, every detail tells a story, from the silver composition that wasn't supposed to exist to the misaligned strikes that suggest a momentary lapse in the press mechanisms, to the intricate die clash that left the coin with a fingerprint of its chaotic birth, and even the mint mark itself, which defies conventional placement rules, suggesting a level of minting irregularity that experts say is nearly impossible to fake or replicate. And the provenance of the coin, combined with its perfect preservation and confirmed multi-era status, have made it one of the most studied pieces in numismatic circles, leading to published articles, peer-reviewed analyses, and even mock reconstructions using mint press simulations to determine how such a coin could come into being, all of which only deepen the fascination surrounding it and elevate its value as a historical artifact. And this example proves once again that the most valuable coins are not always the oldest or rarest by mintage, but often those that bear the scars of minting drama, preserved perfectly by fate and time until they are found by someone with an eye for anomalies and the courage to ask what if. Last 1973 half-dollar coin. Today we dive into the shocking and fascinating world of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar coin, a piece that most people might overlook as common pocket change, but which in one documented and authenticated case stunned the numismatic world when it was confirmed to be worth an unbelievable $26 million, due to an unbelievable combination of minting errors, metallurgical oddities, and production anomalies that make this particular coin one of the most sought after and highly valued collector items in the history of US coinage. And it all starts with understanding what made this ordinary-looking coin so extraordinary, because in the year 1973, the Kennedy $50 was supposed to be a standard-issue coin composed of copper-nickel clad with a consistent diameter of 30.6 millimeters and a weight of 11.34 grams, with no silver content in general circulation issues and only a limited number of special strikes reserved for proof sets and mint sets. But among the millions minted, there emerged one coin that defied all expectations by exhibiting a combination of errors so rare and so complex that experts still debate how such a chain of mistakes could even happen in the tightly controlled environment of the US Mint. And this coin began drawing attention when a collector noticed that its color and reflectivity didn't match any known clad compositions from that year, prompting a metallurgical analysis that revealed the first jaw-dropping detail. It was not made of copper-nickel at all but instead struck on a leftover silver planchet that somehow remained in the Philadelphia Mint's inventory from earlier proof years, possibly a 40% silver blank from the late 60s or early 70s that slipped into the regular production line due to an untracked storage bin or human oversight. And this off-metal error immediately elevated the coin's significance, as no silver 1973 Kennedy $50 were supposed to exist outside special proof issues. But the surprises didn't stop there, because further examination revealed that the coin had been struck off-center by approximately 15%, resulting in a visually dramatic misalignment that left part of Kennedy's profile pressed cleanly into the rim and the edge of the coin distorted in a way that only occurs when a planchet is not seated properly in the striking chamber. A mechanical mishap that in itself can raise a coin's value, but when combined with an off-metal error becomes exponentially more desirable among high-end collectors and researchers. And when the coin was flipped over, even more anomalies were found. On the reverse, the Great Seal of the United States appeared doubled, not due to die wear or vibration but due to an actual double strike, where the coin was hit twice in slightly misaligned positions, causing a shadow image effect on the eagle, shield, and rays that emanate from behind. And this multiple strike error added yet another layer of value and intrigue to the piece. But even that wasn't the end of the surprises, because under magnification the mint mark D, which should indicate the Denver Mint, was found to be overpunched with an S, a rare mint mark anomaly that has only been recorded a handful of times in all US coin history and indicates that a die originally prepared for the San Francisco Mint was retooled and reused in Denver, a process that should not have occurred under standard protocol and suggests either a rushed production order, emergency substitution of dies, or even unauthorized experimentation within the mint itself. And the combination of an off-metal strike, off-center alignment, double strike, and mint mark overpunch created a numismatic unicorn, a coin that breaks multiple categories of rarity and pushed it far beyond ordinary error territory into legendary status. And when this coin was eventually certified by one of the top grading authorities, it was not only authenticated as genuine but also awarded the highest possible designation for mint errors in its class, making it a one-of-a-kind piece that drew immediate attention from elite collectors, private museums, and international investors, all of whom recognized that this coin was more than just a production mistake. It was a historical artifact, a physical representation of everything that can go wrong in coin manufacturing yet result in something uniquely valuable, and its sale at public auction confirmed just how high demand had become, with multiple high-net-worth bidders vying for ownership until the final hammer dropped at an astounding $26 million, a figure that redefined the potential value of modern US coinage and cemented this 1973 Kennedy $50 as one of the most iconic era coins of all time. And its value continues to grow due to increasing public fascination, academic interest, and ongoing speculation about how such a perfect storm of minting errors could have slipped past the eyes of the mint's quality control and landed in private hands. And theories range from overlooked transitional blanks to the accidental use of retired or misfiled dies, all of which point to the complex and sometimes unpredictable nature of mass coin production, where despite machines, checks, and standards, anomalies can and do happen, and when they do, they can transform an everyday object into a multimillion-dollar marvel that captivates the imaginations of collectors around the world. And in the case of this coin, the story it tells is layered not only with error types but with historical context, because 1973 was a year of change within the US Mint, involving shifts in metal sourcing, updates in die preparation, and increasing automation, all of which may have contributed to the chaotic sequence that birthed this coin. And even now, years later, the story of the $26 million 1973 Kennedy half dollar continues to inspire treasure hunters to scour their own change for similar treasures, proving that numismatics is not just a hobby but a window into the past, a chance to discover beauty, history, and astonishing value in the palm of your hand.